Hi, I'm Sophia Louisa Lee. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of So Zoom In. Please hit like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. I love bringing you people who are in the creative flow. Today, I'll be speaking with Windwalker Dorn. She is a multi-award winning musician. She is a healer. She's a beautiful soul, and she is coming in right now. Thanks so much for watching. I'm so happy to see you. I was listening to your album this morning and it just made me feel so good, so uplifting, so beautiful. Congratulations. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so honored. I am so excited. I couldn't wait.
I love your outfit. It's gorgeous. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. It was handmade, my design. And this is, if you had to put a dress on red carpet, this is the most amazing regalia. It's made, well, it's the colors of the wampum shell, which is very important to us, which is purple and white. That means a string of life. And it's actually made out of coach leather. The whole outfit, it's 2 pieces. And this is like the yoke that I'm wearing. And that covers our shoulders when there's some tribes that don't like the women's shoulders to be shown. In my culture, in my tribes, it's fine. But it's also, it just makes it nicer for respect.
I have to ask, the feathers in your hair. I love that. But I've been told that that can be very controversial for some people wearing it as a fashion statement. You know, when people wear it in your hair, what does it mean for your tribe to wear it?
Oh, thank you. You have to earn these feathers. Now, because I am an eagle feather carrier, because I also am also watch a nest, which we observe the eagle and their eaglets, and I'm also a protector of the eagle, especially near the waters. You know, so there's one here at the Bosque del Apache, which is right down the road from us, where all the birds migrate every year in November, and thousands of birds come, but the eagles. So these feathers here that you see, these the small ones were a gift, were separate. These are from a private bird that journeyed and was a very dear friend to an elder, and then the elder painted them, and then the elder gave them to me. The feathers underneath, even though I do have real, these are painted.
Okay.
So I did that because these are the ones I wore at the Grammys, at the Grammy week. I did bring my eagle feathers, but I did ceremony privately in my room and outside. But in the public, I didn't bring them out. You know, so yeah, the controversy, I have there's a lot of controversy on a lot of things. And the feathers is, like I said, you earn them. And I have earned my eagle feathers. And I've earned also the hawk feathers, which are very, yes. So the red-tailed hawk and all the other beautiful hawks that come in different parts of the country that migrate and become their home are very, very sacred to us too. So the sacrednicity of each feather, if you honor and respect them, it's a gift from the bird. And I will say, if you are a healer or shaman, or you've been gifted these eagle feathers without having a permit from the wildlife U.S. Department. If you don't have that, and you're somewhere and you are wearing your grandmother's eagle feather or your grandfather's eagle feather, and they'll say, it's a $10,000 fine. They'll say, oh, I don't own this feather. Well, you're wearing it. Yes, but I don't own it. I'm just keeper of it. My grandmother's. So that is how we keep our traditions and our sacredness alone and keep it, passing it down from generation to generation. I also have a full bonnet that was gifted to me that I wear only in ceremony. Very rare. I think I've worn it all the years I've had it, probably 4 times. 2 were on the Navy base in San Diego. And 1 was for the sacredness of a quiet ceremony. And that was gifted to me, that they say that women don't wear the chief bonnets. Well, I am a chief.
Wonderful.
Yes, I am a Nations Clan chief
Uh-huh.
of the Lenape. So we didn't have the bonnets, but this bonnet was gifted to me from New Mexico from an elder. And I used it very, very, very honorably. Now it sits, in a beautiful glass case with sage. And speaking of sage, I also brought some so I can smudge in a seashell for you as we speak to send it over. And yes, every day is Earth Day. There's competitions where, excuse me, there's competitions where there's feathers that are the eagle plumes, but they're also, to me personally, if you're asking that a personal, I see these young girls are still bringing on tradition, and because we're losing our traditions.
Right.
And even if it isn't a competition way, they're still holding on. There's a thread. There's still a thread there holding on where they're still dancing on Earth Mother with their feet and the patterns and everything. And they're saying they're bright colors. Well, that's what we do with the trade between the leather and the cloth trade when we have ribbon dresses, which is like beautiful, like a small pattern of flowers, the ribbons on it, which represented the fringe. And the 4 colors we put, that was the trade when we had trade with the pilgrims, and they needed buckskins.
Right.
And so we traded them buckskins for cloth.
Wow.
So, yeah. And that's really, pardon.
Oh, it's great that you're keeping these traditions alive. I mean, by talking about them and sharing the stories, and because so much I didn't know, and so much is lost, especially in schools today. Do you share these stories now with children, or how are you passing them on right now? I'm through your song, definitely through song. I'm just going to jump in real quick, and I'm going to make a little introduction because everything we're talking about is going to be so beautiful, and I love the sage. You're so beautiful.
Thank you. So are you. And yes. And I pass it on to my children. And as a matter of fact, her prodigy is on her way right now from California. I started her age 3. And she's been on our drum. She sings with us. She does my medicine with me. It's her mom's birthday, and this was her birthday gift for her to come to New Mexico. I work with the schools in San Diego. Now I work with the schools in New Mexico. I travel. Kids come here. Children are my world. And I just had a new grandbaby, which so, and I sang to her, she cooed right back. So we're good to go. Another singer.
That's so beautiful. But okay, when I was listening to your album this morning, I could just feel the music. I mean, it made me want to move. It made me want to really connect to Earth and to just feel it. And I felt such a history in what the music and the words. And I really felt like you convey that so beautifully. What inspires you to do that? What inspires you to create music?
Well, inspired me first was my grandmother and my whole family. My grandmother, I wore my moccasins in 2 canoes through my lifetime. The traditional life and the outside world that I was going to walk through and help heal. So I had to learn both. And with that, I made her a promise. And her promise was, child, they're going to try to simulate all our music and our prayers, our song, everything, our language. Please promise me you'll teach the children and the future is yet to come everything that we know. And I did. My father was a drummer. I was raised around music all my life, both traditional and band wise, the silver flute, the saxophone, when my flute got stolen. You can't play Native American flute in school. They didn't know what that was. The recorder was the closest. And then what really inspired me was the ancestors and the history. And it really inspired me to realize that everything is in a circle, just like the drum. just like the world in our heartbeat. We are the life givers. And I was proud to keep that up. And I'm telling you, it was a very, very hard role. I didn't think it would be, but it was. And I took every step very, very proudly. And I still do. I still do. So that really inspired me. And then the inspiration was the children. The inspiration was the children of hope and gratitude and strength. And coming back to Earth Mother. These children are gifts. And the animals, oh, they saved my life. Horses, cats, dogs, incredible. The four-legged, they keep you grounded. They're on all fours. They keep you grounded. We're on two. Always reaching up, reaching out. They're always walking forward, walking sideways, walking backwards. Right. Always somewhere in kind of way of a circle.
I want to ask, because it feels like so much now is coming up about ancestors, or to me anyway. I see it in so many different things. What is the importance of connecting with ancestors?
That's a very, very good question. The connection to ancestors is bringing back the simplicity and the oneness, the unison, the unity of everything needs to be once again. The electricity, the electronics, the segregation of everything in every direction has made people confused. And, you know, you only see your family like on holidays. Well, like you said, why not today be Earth Day? Why not just go today? You know, we would do seasonal. So we would make sure that everything, but it was whenever they were there. We were always there. They guide us. Those stars up there, we believe that the Milky Way are all the souls going back. So when you look at the Milky Way, yeah, it changes every night. And right here, and we have a dark sky ordinance. So we can't shine light in our skies. All our lights have to go down to Earth Mother.
Ooh, I like that. So well, you're in New Mexico, so that must be so beautiful to actually to see the stars. So I've heard people say that they don't connect with their ancestors because they're too angry, or the ancestors were, you know, bad people, or they're afraid to even go back, and what's done is in the past is done, and there's only this moment of now. And you know, it's like it seems like they just want, like, okay, I'm here, to heck with them. Now, what benefit can there be for that person now to have that connection with ancestors?
Oh, that's a really good question. That came up to me when I was calling in the ancestors at a live on Grammy Week a few years ago. And I didn't think anything of it exactly. I just thought, oh, everyone wants their ancestors. And after the show, I was giving one of the artists a ride home, and he said, do you realize maybe someone doesn't want to bring their ancestors in? And I said, well, you know, ancestors don't have to be your family.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Ancestors are, because we feel that we just keep going. There's no finality. And it's ironic. And you always say, people say all the time, I feel like I've known you all my life.
Right.
Because we have, in different lifetimes. We keep coming back. We keep, like birds of a feather flock together. We keep coming back together, whether it's for healing, whether it's to help heal this, that, or whatever. In that category, people flock. And that's why there's cities, there's countries, there's, you know, country life, city life, suburban, and they all mingle in beautiful ways.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
So there are ancestors also. There could, because a lot of them, when I work on people, they'll say, Windwalker, I don't have an ounce of Native American in me, but I have a chief that follows me.
Wow.
I said, because he's always followed you. We all bleed red. Yes. We don't have there's nothing about color or creed or anything. That's why I wrote, that's why I wrote segregated. We're all related, but we're so segregated. And I said, so Anyone can be your, so if you feel like you had a best friend that journeyed in a car accident, she could be one of your ancestors, because you connected in this lifetime doesn't mean you didn't connect in a lifetime prior to that. And you loved her in this lifetime.
So
does that make sense?
We are our ancestors then.
Yes. Yes, we are our ancestors, and they keep guiding us, because it's all about peace, harmony, balance, and no dis-ease. We weren't born into the light to have any dis-ease.
So why do we keep doing it, so we keep messing up? What is that all about? I mean, come on. It's like, what are people missing here? Right? If it's supposed to be simple, why do we complicate it so much?
Exactly. Let's go back to the children. If people watch their children more, the simplicity and all the complicated answers would be right in front of them, directly in front of them, and they could go on. What happens is, when fear comes into life, and putting people down, and things that happen, and then ego, that's no confidence. Children are confident. They don't know what ego is. Ego, to me personally, is fear, has fear attached to it, and you really don't know who you are, so you're trying to present yourself. Confidence is, yeah, I did it, I'm really good at it. Yeah, and I can help you, but there's different, because of the confidence in that. So that's what happens. And that song of the new album of canoes are sinking, our men are drowning. First of all, we're losing the matriarch.
Yes.
And the matriarch, if we're such life givers and we're so giving, and even the women are getting confused on how to use that matriarch, then the patrilineal and the patriarchal, they don't have enough guys to teach how to help and be beside a woman, or a man, whatever your gender is, it doesn't matter. It's all about having that beauty and having that balance. That's why our nations worked. We didn't have rape, we didn't have anger, we didn't have beatings. We didn't have any of that. Why? Because the matriarch was responsible enough for the giving and the caring and the strength and the warriorship to carry it all. And that was that simple. So we're missing that. We've given it to the patriarchal. That's what we're missing. Once the matriarch, as we speak, and our generations, like your daughter, my granddaughter, my oldest, my 14-year-old granddaughter, she's under my wing too. They are going to be the leaders that are going to fix this world.
Yeah, well, it's happening now.
Yes.
It's coming back. Yeah, I have to ask you, who's Richard? I have someone named Richard wanting to come in.
Richard Diaz, that's one of my students.
Oh, okay. Do you want him to be part of this, to witness, or?
If you'd like, he's a one of, I actually, okay, if you want to talk a little about Richard, and if you'd like to, it's up to you. I chose him. He's a veteran. I chose him out of Texas when I did a workshop. This is kind of quick.
Okay.
But I have a spirit bear hide, a full spirit bear hide that was gifted to me from, she was born in the 1920s. Every 3 years, a black bear has a white cub.
Ooh.
She was in bear dances, because I do the bear dances. And so, and then she was gifted to me. And then when I went to this workshop, I chose Richard to do this. And he came here for a full weekend, did a vision quest. We danced the rains, the thunders, everything came, that he made that bear come alive. It's incredible. So he is now the keeper, and I'm going to bring him, he doesn't have it yet. But I'm going to bring him the white bear. Okay. When I go back to Texas. So if you'd like, that's fine. And if not, that's okay too.
Well, yeah, well, we will go with the flow, but this is about you. Richard.
Well, he's one of my students.
Welcome, Richard. He's logging on. This is awesome. See, Spirit is guiding this. Okay, Richard, can we please see your face? Or
Hello, Awani.
Awani, I love that. Awani.
Awani. There you are.
Hey,
How are
how
you?
you doing?
Good. Can you see? Wait, I can't really see you too well. You backlit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm outside right now.
Oh, there you go. Oh, thank you for joining us. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, no, I don't know what was going on. I just saw Windwalker posted something on Facebook, said join me, and I was like, all right.
All right, I love it. Okay, well, welcome. So, yeah, we were just talking. So we might call you in, but thank you for being part of this. And I love that you're staging right now. Do you want to share a little bit about what you're doing?
Yes, this is especially a connection with you for you're in California.
Yes.
And
Well,
this is California white sage.
oh, beautiful.
And I carried this and I took this out of my medicine bag this morning. And I also have this ceramic teepee kind of for the outside that you can put the smudge bowl in, and it comes out the top, which was handmade here from a Pueblo Native American. And when we smudge or sage, I use sweetgrass, sage, tobacco, and cedar.
Ooh.
And for those 4 directions. And what I do is when I'm smudging, I'm praying. And if you ever watched a Native American movie, they're always praying, they're taking over their head. There's purification. And then one to their heart. Then you do your whole body under your feet. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to place it here.
Thank you.
And I'm going to sing a prayer song.
Oh, please do. Yes.
Well, no, well, hey, Gioshana we Sophia ne Gishana we Gishana Gishela Mukon we Heya heya ne heya 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 Kishela mukwane Sophia ne shawade heyo 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 oh heya well, hey, hey, the talk we us know me coming on, hey, hey, oh, my relations. Oh, Kishan.
That was so beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you.
Wanishi wado.
Thank you so much. That's so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you sage every day or every morning?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And I think that's what keeps me really grounded and humble. I feel it keeps me connected. It also clears my lungs. We have high winds right now, a lot of pollen, which is beautiful because that means more growth.
Yes.
And but you know, sometimes so it's wonderful, and it's just it makes you feel like it's like a shower. It just feels so fantastic when you fully sage, you inhale it, breathe it out, and you know inside, even to your own inner voice, you must speak the truth for that day. You must walk the truth for that day and help heal for that day. You just feel it. You just want to. You just want to.
Wow. We need Everyone needs to do that. Speak your truth of the day, walk your truth of the day. And people don't. They get so caught up in the lies and the pretending. So how can people start doing that? Walking their truth and speaking their truth. What is the easiest way for them to just start doing it? Is that possible?
Yes, very simple. Before you put your feet on the ground, when you open your eyes in bed, I want you to take a deep breath from your belly, way down from your belly. Make that belly go way up, make that sheet go way up high. And then as you exhale, you say, and you look around, no matter where you are. And believe you me, I have been from homeless all the way up, down to wherever.
Wow.
I always say, I am grateful, and you have to mean it. Then when you get up, you have to own that breath.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want you to take a nice deep one. We just breathe because we need to.
Right.
We don't think about it.
Conscious breath. I like that.
If you own your breath, then you own your own life. How can you not speak the truth if you own your own life? You chose to be here again today.
Right.
This is a gift. This is a gift. So what are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
It's up to you.
What I love about you have this beautiful energy about you, and yet you're in this music world. You know, you're making albums, you're winning awards, you're working with other artists pretty much from all over the world, different cultures, different people, different ages, just this multicultural hubbub of talent. And you're bringing your truth to that. What is that like, meeting all these different types of people, working with all these different types of people, where it's not always the path of righteousness, if you will, it's not exactly, you know what I mean? It's the music world. It's like Hollywood. It's like anything that has to deal with the arts. It gets convoluted with all these different ideas, and I'll do this and I'll do that. What led you to that, to be part of that and be successful at it?
Here it is. Don't let anyone or anything take away your dreams and your determination to pursue them and share them, no matter what. Oh, yes. I'm actually going to write a song called Sparkles and Hay. Because, I live on a horse farm and I live my moccasins in 2 canoes in that world. What I like to do is, as soon as I feel that I'm grounded,
mm-hmm.
I'm so honored to be there, because everything that I do is for my grandmother. And then because of that, her guidance brought me worldwide. Her guidance brought me to the other people to help heal, because she said we're like seeds that were spread all over the earth.
Right.
And we grow in all those different parts, in beauty, strength, and honor, and healing. There's not one plant out there that's not for healing. And if there's a poisonous plant, the remedy grows right next to it. Do you know that? So that's how amazing it is. So when I went out there, I went like the innocence of a child. I didn't Google anything. When I got nominated, they told me, and I called my producer, and she said, "Oh, darling, I think we were just like put in this round 2." I said, "Oh, okay." And so I went in with the excitement through my grandmother's eyes,
mm-hmm.
my grandmother's traditions, and to help others. I got some wonderful, wonderful friends. I got some wonderful coyotes, which are tricksters. And I got some wonderful haters that actually took the time to hate me. And I thought, well, then you don't know me. If you knew me, this would be null and void. If it was someone that was special to me and were saying these, then I'd be so upset. People went, and it was okay, because that's part of it. It's like the yin and yang of the life.
Right.
I never lose the matriarch. I might get knocked down, and I have here and there, but as you can see, it doesn't stop me.
Right.
It doesn't stop me. And mine is really even personal because it goes back to something like, it's not even people that knew me beforehand. It started with a seed in my family, the jealousy, ego. And this person in my family is the most beautiful person. I love this person all my life.
Right.
But you can't have someone love you back. And I learned a lot. And this person which I say is my older sister, she has tried so hard to destroy me. And it's okay, because I still love her. I don't have to be with her. I don't have to do anything, but I still love her because I'll honor her strength. She's matriarch, but in a different way. I'll always present myself, who I am and what I need to do and what I'm going to do, especially for next generations. So wearing those two, I love to dress up. It's like a princess and it's fun. Right. I will tell you that all my designer dresses, except for this one, this is the one I only actually had made. I do two things for all my dresses on red carpet. Is I go to high-end thrift stores and I get the dresses from there. And then I donate them to girls who cannot afford dresses for proms or wedding. Wow. Yeah. So it's a win-win situation because the women that you get these Dior's and everything can only wear them once also. Right. So it's
got right? Twice the same photograph, right?
Right.
That's wonderful. Yeah. What a great way to upcycle. You're upcycling. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yes.
So touring, what has touring been like for you?
Oh, touring was really fun. I learned a lot. I had a music sponsor that actually bought us a tour bus, and at that time I was with my husband for 21 years, and we toured. And we raised our daughter together on the road. He was also a school teacher, and I was a teacher's aide, and it was really, really interesting. I learned a lot. I taught a lot. I saw a lot of the country. We had a 1950, well, I still have it, but it's a 1952 Greyhound that was converted into a beautiful all wood inside, motorhome. And right now it's in Erie, Colorado. I always said Pennsylvania. It's Erie, Colorado, with a broken motor. But anyhow, it was really interesting because I always wanted to do that. I thought, how can I do it? And my tour was not just the music. My tour was also the healings. So I had a healing music tour, and I went and I seeked out children. I went, especially Earth Days. We made sure that was on. So, and then I also did a lot of personal. So we would be hosted sometimes. So we get off the bus because sometimes you feel like you're moving all the time. You're on solid ground. You go, whoa! It was an earthquake. Oh no, you're off the bus. But I liked it because I didn't have to worry about hotels or motels. I had a crew at one point that would help cook. I could sit down, my husband and I could write songs or work together or practice together. And it was wonderful, and then then COVID hit. And of course we, as Wind Spirit Drum, and it was a wonderful story and beautiful. After all these years, we split as a group, and MCW came in. We had the multicultural women. And how we love each other was we both decided this was better. And I even set him up with another beautiful spirited woman who is on a drum, and they were perfect for each other. And that's how you love something. That's what has to be done. You have to break the chains in things that have you think are so horrible. Did I Did I have sadness through it? Absolutely. 25 years we were together, but 25 wonderful, learning, great years. I can't get any better than that. So why not share that with somebody else when he still has life to live and life to give? And so do I.
But you knew it wasn't going to work with him anymore, though. I mean, you ended that journey. Okay.
Yeah. Because Native Americans, my grandmother, one time we went to a wedding and, they say forever and ever. And she leaned in like she was little hard of hearing. She leaned in, she was, oh, that's a really long time.
Yes, it is. But just think how many different lives we live within this one lifetime too.
Sure. It's just amazing. It's your past take blessings that sometimes they look like tragedies or endings. They're not. They're really fantastic growths. And it starts back with owning your first breath that you are conscious of that day.
Right.
That's how simple. Once you do that, you own your life for that day. You own your truth, whatever you say.
Wow. I love that. So, all right. So now that this pandemic, we're not going to talk about it, but now that it's seemingly coming to an end, it's like, are you going to do you want to start touring again? Is that something that you want to continue to do?
Oh, yes. I would love to tour. I love to travel. I'm the wind, butterfly. I do storytelling through all my touring too. I miss the children. I miss everybody as far as that. I would be in a heartbeat. Oh, yep. Just sign me up.
I will keep that in mind, because if I see an opportunity arise, I'm going to let you know.
Thank you.
You have so much to share and teach, and I just see so much, part of you, and I want people to know of you. I want children to learn your stories, and there's so many. It's just so fascinating how many different types of people there are, and how everyone has something to share, and yet they hold on so tightly to it. And if they could just say, okay, this is who I am, and I guess it goes back to the breath. This is who I am. This is my story. And they see that you have a story and he has a story, and all these stories come together, and we can respect them and honor them and learn from them, and then create new stories. It's like, why is that so hard? I don't know why it's so hard, but I want people to know your story. I want people to see who you are and hear your music and feel your life in your song and in you. I think that's just so beautiful. And it's time. I feel like it's really time. And what's so beautiful today is a full moon, the pink moon, which is so beautiful. And I happened to see a friend on Facebook post that it's connected with Native Indian cultures, this pink moon. Will you be doing anything special because of this beautiful full moon that we have tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I just let me give you a hug. I'm giving you a virtual hug. You're so beautiful.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, this MAC mascara better work.
Mine runs like crazy. So.
Yes, I will be. First of all, the pink moon is also, I'll put all my pink quartz for love, and all my crystals that have been to rejuvenate. I also put out water. And it's amazing, because last time I went to a thrift store and I got those beautiful crystal canteen that people would put, like, I guess, liquor in or whatever. And we have two wells. So we have these beautiful aquifers. And so as I'm pouring it, I sing into it, then I cork it, and then I put it outside to get rejuvenated in the moon. So then you have moon water.
Ooh. And then what do you do with the moon water when you have it?
You can put it on your new plants.
Oh.
And also, it's also very good if you're having a young woman going into their womanhood.
Mm-hmm.
We call it moon time.
Right.
Because grandmother moon is on 28-day cycle. And so are our cycles. Well, not mine anymore. I'm going to be 60. I'm so excited. But I know. Anyway, so if you, it also helps women and young girls to help get into their moon time. It helps for cramping. It helps to connect with Grandmother Moon so they help because the magnetic field, because she's the keeper of the waters on Earth Mother. Right. So with that, she protects the women and also protects the matriarch of that. So yes, that's what I'll be doing.
Beautiful.
And drumming and some smudging and and I'm sorry, white cornmeal.
White cornmeal.
White cornmeal. Yeah, I'll teach you a ceremony. You take in your left hand, you take a handful of white cornmeal, and you actually you face Grandmother Moon, and you thank her for all that she does. And then as you're saying that, you're going to see a connection, almost like an umbilical cord, from your hand to the moon. And then as you're praying your own way, I want you to start moving clockwise to the next wind and just letting it drip. The white cornmeal drip out of your hand. You go to the next direction and whatever, and then you ask that direction for prayers and things that you need to thank that one. Go to the next one, let it drip out. Go to the next one. And then when you come back to Grandmother Moon, you've made a circle around you of white cornmeal.
Right.
And then if you don't have any more, you can grab some more. And if you don't, then I want you to grab a big handful. And then you ask Grandmother Moon what you need. And first of all, own your breath and what you need to help heal the earth, to help heal this world, to help be the healer that you are, the light that you are. Ask for her guidance. And then take that and put it right between your feet.
Okay.
And let it go. And when you step out, you're going to meet, that's the full moon. And the circle of light that you made around it seals it. And that's the whole moon ceremony.
What? Do you have to do this on Earth or like on the ground, or can you do it like on a sidewalk, or I mean, does it have to be on Earth when you do it?
No. As long as you can see Grandmother Moon.
Okay, so say if I went up on top of my roof, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, good. All right, I'm gonna do that.
As long as there's a circle around you.
Right. I like that. I like that.
You become the offering.
Wow. And how different it would be if everyone did that and just kind of took responsibility for, I mean, wasn't that the original intention, that we are here to help the earth be a better planet? And yet we've done so much damage to her.
That's okay. You know, you talk about a sidewalk. We've done so much damage, but she'll come up with a flower in the middle of a sidewalk, middle of a city. Or she'll remind you with one leaf, waving at you when you're driving down the highway when there's a fire. She says, I'll be back. I'll be back because I am Mother Earth. I'll be back.
Yeah, she's so powerful. So we can't really damage her then, right? I mean, right? She's got this.
She's got this. She always has. She always said there's cycles, and the Hopi have it together. The Hopi, which I work with too, they believe that if once all four colors come together, will Earth Mother totally heal. And so you go to their mesas, and they're all welcoming, you know. Then they get it. They get it. They feel like I do. I mean, I've had some natives say, "Why do you do this?" They, like you said, they've damaged Earth Mother. I said, to teach them not to. Teach them they don't have to.
Right.
So then I said, we need to do this. This is our following. This is our prayer. This is what we need to do. And with that said, Mother Earth knows we've got her.
Right.
We've got her. And she keeps coming up more beautiful and more beautiful.
Yes,
And, and it's saddened that, there's like fires happen. And that's so sad. But then when the forest is greener and beautiful, that's rebirth.
Right.
And everything is replaceable when it comes to anything materialistic.
Right.
People say, well, pictures, you have pictures here. You don't have to have them here. I had a beautiful friend who lost everything in Malibu fire a couple of years ago. And she said, Windwalker, my grand piano. I've had so many songs on that. I said, the songs are here and here and here. That you played them on those keys. You can play them on any key.
Right.
Same thing with life.
Mm-hmm.
The tragedies, tragedies that people think happen. And they say, why me? My grandma said, why not you? You're not here to be punished, but you're here to be taught and learn and teach.
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about. And so I took it, everything that I grew up with, that some children should never see. I'm honored to have that so I can help others. Sometimes I can't stop things that happen, but I can actually heal them so they can help heal. And then we can stop things. We can stop those cycles, stop the cycle of everything negative. I would love everyone to have rainbows and tutus, but then again, if we didn't have a little bit of the negativity, not as much because it's overpowering, we think, but it really isn't. It's smoking mirrors. It's like bullies.
Right.
Look through the smoke. Own your breath. Know who you are. Speak your truth. Follow it. Walk it. Heal. Give a smile to somebody who's frowning down the road. You don't have to know who they are. You don't have to know their life.
Right. Yeah.
But give them that hope that they've been noticed.
Exactly. That would make a huge difference. Anything. It's so simple, just so easy to do. But it's so funny because so many people walk around with their face in their phones, even driving, their faces in their phones, and it's like they don't see the world around them. They're focusing on a little machine, to stay tuned into, which is so weird. But then again, it's like I'm grateful for it because I'm able to talk with you and you're in a different state, and it's like, okay, there are good things to it also. So it's like it's finding that balance, right? It's all about finding
your moccasins into canoes. It's like a game board. Play that game board. Just you don't have to stay on that game board. Like when I go in a city, I have to do a game board of how it's laid out,
right?
Where I have to go. And I can't do it by maps anymore because everything's changed. So we need electronics. Yeah, I'm going to use them.
Well, so first of all, okay, your album is awesome, and I want people to find it. Go, I had to Google Windwalker album. I found it on Facebook. That's how I ended up finding it. But it's on iTunes too, isn't it?
Yes, it's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube channel, Windwalker and the MCW.
Okay.
Also, Wind Spirit Drum. Mm-hmm. And my new album just comes out, Windwalker. That was the one that was considered this year. And that's the one about my whole life story. I love that one because it's different, because I've done so much traditional with a 36-inch cedar drum and being out in the woods and doing ceremonies and bear dances and all that, to come to know that I can do a little bit of opera, I can do a little bit of hip hop, or I can do a little bit of this and that.
The country too, yeah.
The country, yeah, like Prairie Rose Journey. That's a funny one. Let me stop there. I'll tell you about that. How that came out was the owner of Big Fish Studios, which I love so much. He went out and he knew the album that was Generations we were recording there. And I said, listen, some percentage of this is going to go to children's education and different genres, and especially for music, because they want to take music out of schools at that time and the whole bit. And I said, would you like to be a part of it? He's like, oh, yeah, I would. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Windwalker. Well, he's great. He's a studio musician, but he watched the movie Deliverance the night before. So he comes and takes out his dobro. And then we did the drum, right? And picture these women and a young girl on the drum. And he goes, and we're in there going, oh, okay. What are we gonna do with this? And then when they put that down, he put the guitar up. He went to the engineer. He put that in, and now we're in there going, oh. So I thought, this is a new twist. Wow. Okay. I like it. What am I gonna do with it? So then I was on Route 5 because I used to live in San Diego. And I came from here, which is 2-lane for like 100 miles straight. And I realized that when you get closer, it keeps getting wider and wider with the lanes, which when I lived there after a while, I loved it. When I first got there, it freaked me out. And I was like, wow, it's like a big ocean. And they're all flowing. And there's one person per car. And they all have their own journeys. And they're going somewhere. We're all flowing together, but we all have our own roads to go. And then I came out with, way yo no ne no hey yo, way yo no ne no hey yo ne, way yo no ne no hey yo ne, way yo no ne no hey yo ne. And it just flowed with that traffic. And I realized that, and then one of my dearest friends, Dayton Hyde, who has journeyed, and he's in that beautiful, beautiful Milky Way. He was one of my sponsors who owned the Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary. And he was one of my biggest music sponsors. And I also used to go out there and do healings on him. Most of my videos are on that sanctuary. And the Cheyenne River is the only river that flows in 4 directions. That's how sacred that water is.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I was going to bury one of my drums from way back from the 80s, early 90s there, that I played for another subject about Leonard Peltier. And I was last time I did it for the Bigfoot ride of all the children, 500 children riding 500 horses for a wounded knee. And the last time I was going to bury it there at the Cheyenne. But I was at my producer's storage, in beautifully covered and everything, of course, and honored. But she said, do you still want to bury it there at the waters? And I got this vision of, do you know any Lakota youth drummers that are starting up a new drum? And she said, as a matter of fact, I do. I went, good, let's not bury it. Let's bring it back out and let's bring it to the kids. So that's there, right? I'm really excited about that. That's really, really, really excited.
Oh, wow.
So as you can see, no matter what, and if I feel like the world gets to me, and a lot of times I just gonna go in my room for a little bit or sit on my back porch. I start owning my breath, and then I think about the children. And I think, what would a kid do? How would a kid handle this? How would a kid do this? And what do I carry and what do I not carry?
Right.
That is another step too. Once you own your breath, you can't own the world. You can't carry the world because you're taking away from other people,
right,
their jobs and their goals and their truth and their growth. Because you might have the answer, or you might have a solution, or you might think we do, or whatever we all do. But it wasn't really in our category, but once we took it on, that really wasn't ours to carry to begin with. It's ours to sit back and pray, to help heal, things like that, but allow the people that are there, like their seed, to grow. And let that, and that way, there's no guilt or regret or feeling you're not doing enough, because you are doing enough. You're doing more than enough. You're doing so much of blooming, but it has to be in growth, not in taking you down and putting pressure and heaviness.
Yeah.
Then that you can scrape up. Man, why?
Right.
Well, there's so much out there. There's so much greatness out there that needs to be known.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's like, wow. Okay. So when you were doing your healing session, when you're going out there and sharing this with people, letting them know that there is so much more, and it starts with owning your breath. How do you do it? I mean, are you like facilitating their space for them to kind of figure it out, or are you guiding them, or are you doing something for them, or how does it work? And I know that's a big question.
No, I do different workshops. The workshops that I teach a lot. There's, I do the, let me start off with the really, really ancient ways as called the shell medicine. And that's all the seashells. People go to places on the beach and on rivers and they pick shells and they don't know what to do with them. Well, they're picking you like the stones of earth, saying, I am medicinal, I can help heal. Well, being Eastern Woodland, also being Keepers of the Dawn, being Micmac, we used everything from the ocean, even our baby's teeth done seaweed and rattle seaweed. And so my grandmother would teach you, and I teach, where I'd lay you down either on a, now, before it was a bed, I'd go to your place, or we'd have a mat or a massage table, whichever. But now I have there's no gravity chairs, and I lay you down on it. I smudge you. Then I ask each shell where to place on you where you need that healing. And I always ask, I want the person that does not believe in any of this, you came here to be the worst critic in the world. I just want you to feel this, because I want to know someday it might not work too.
Right.
And I need to know that. So someone, usually a man, I got it. Sorry, it's not always true, but it's true. Women usually are like very more into it. And so I said, come on in. So this big dude, tattoos, and everything. And I was like, wow, I love your ink, because I have ink, right? And I don't judge anybody. I don't care. You have your own life. It's not up to me to judge. I just want to meet you.
Right, exactly.
And, and I want to heal you. That's my job. And so I lay him down, and then I have a drum, a hand drum. This is one of them I use, which was painted by a young girl who is 17 or 18. It has my totems on it, and it has the water.
Wow.
And it has great blue hair and the bear and the raven. She was suicidal in the story. And then, and now she now it paints drums years later. So then I take the drum, which is the heartbeat of everything that lives, and I activate these shells through the heartbeat of yourself. And every muscle has a memory. So what I'm doing, if you're holding that memory that's crying, I don't know what it is, that's not up to me. That's too personal. But I was taught by my grandma since age 4 how to feel emotion, just like horses. That's what they go on, is emotion. So I'll feel that shell will say, oh, she holds fear here. So let's put this conch, and we're gonna put this conch shell, and I'm gonna suck it up, and then I'm gonna stick to it. And then when you pull it out, I'm gonna suck it right out.
Nice.
And so this happens. So then I take the drum and I bring it over you, and then I come back with a heartbeat. Then I also have the 2 rattles that I use a lot. There's different rattles, but the ones that I bring, this is a deer toe. And deer toe rattle is for kindness. Deer always go to their left. Herd mentality. So we come back together. We don't segregate. We listen big. We look big, and we smell together.
Nice.
We always stay together. So I put the kindness back in.
Mhm.
And then we talk about the ancestors. Turtle rattle.
Oh, wow.
And this turtle is filled with blue corn. Blue corn is for abundance. And you can fill yours with any kind of, you could use yellow corn. I mean, I've had different things in here because after a while, the leather breaks. You have to redo the leather around it, you know. But this has been all over the country. And it used to have lots of feathers, but this represents the ancients. Turtle is very old.
Right.
And holds the house on your back. You can go in when need to. You can be tousled around, but you can get right back up on your feet.
Right.
And so it gives you the answers and the protection of the old ones and the abundance of that. So that does this. This is a deer toe.
Oh, wow. That's very cool. So, okay, so I have to ask, so when you get the turtle shell or the deer toes, I mean, how do you get them? I mean, is the animal already dead or?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yes, we find them, the deer toes. If they're the deer toe, we've never, I've also had a few where in West Virginia on this strand that I did hunt. And I am a hunter, but I haven't done it in many years. And I teach the children how to track and hunt. And we use every part of the animal. We do it traditionally. We even smoke the meat through the punk wood. You know, we share it. And then I used to scrape the hides and we do the whole kit and caboodle.
Nice.
So that's why a few of them have been collected from there.
Mhm.
Some were roadkill that we did ceremony, and then we took it back and we once again recycled that whole body and spirit.
Mhm.
And some that just journeyed, you know, that I had friends that lived in that had zoos and, you know, and say, well, this deer, and well, this was Mabel. She was 23. Oh, really? Oh, I'd love to have that, you know, because it's an honor to bring them, right?
Right.
And the turtle, right? And then what we wait for is like I had a turtle rattle workshop. Matter of fact, that in Texas, and I did the healing of the shells, but I had to wait. Like it took about 6 months to get, I think, 12 turtles because they had to be old or journeyed, you know, things like that, or they use them for soup.
Oh, turtle soup.
Yeah, I don't like it. I tried it. No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I like a lot of wildlife and stuff, and I cook really good in wildlife. No,
Yeah.
I just
No.
like Brussels sprouts. It's like, yeah, no.
Right.
Anyhow,
That's so beautiful to, you know, to really, so you're keeping this, it's like you're keeping the spirit of the animal with you too, in a way, just by having that, by honoring them and
yes,
letting them be part of what you do. That's actually really beautiful.
thank you. So that's one of my I teach you how to do that. And then after I remove the shells, your life like changes from there on in. And it's just incredible because it's just an old thing. And I'm teaching it all over the world because I need the project. I need this to keep going. If you're asked, that's another way we can help. If we keep these ceremonies up there, people don't need to have a license. They don't need to have this. They don't have to go to school for it. They just have to learn and connect
Right.
with these implements that are here just waiting to help heal the earth, stop the war, stop all this, stop the disease, you know, stop all this. This is why she keeps growing more plants. You know, it's because she just knows. And there's a story about a little boy that was born, and it was about the sassafras tree way back in the 1600s when he journeyed. It's a long story, but he came back as the sassafras tree, and that is an anti-cancer agent. Now, who knew back in the 1600s we need that? So that's what I'm saying. So Mother Earth always knows. And the cycle of different things, we we look at it in a different way, even in the modern way, And I get, I'm involved in lots of different things too, that I try to stop and help, and it's helping there too. But once again, what we want to do, if we keep these ceremonies up and teach them,
Right.
oh my goodness, it's great. It's fantastic. And I have not one person. And the other ones I do is I do full body massage, and I work with the stones of river and ocean, ground stones, things, and also semi-precious stones. And I show you how to get everything that's out of your muscles, out of your memory, out of your muscles, and rejuvenate your muscles. And then I can help seal and heal bones, take cancer out, things like that. So it goes in, the intricacy depends on whom I'm teaching.
When you have someone for a healing like that, do you see their spirit animals? Or
yes, sometimes if I also see a lot of their ancestors that come with them if they show themselves to me.
Okay. Now the person does what if the person doesn't know his or her spirit animals? Can you help them find them or figure out who they are, or help them see them if they don't know?
Yes. One of the questions I asked first is, what animal attracts you the most, and you see either follow you, or you feel safe, or you feel that you want to have, or you need to be with?
Right. Oh. And that's very challenging.
And then some people say, well, I feel more attracted and I feel safer, and I always want to be near a elm tree, not an animal.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. That's one of your totems. Animal, sometimes it could be a dinosaur. Well, that's because your past lives, whatever happened in that time, you've kept that totem to protect you. Right. To spiritually protect you through the whole times. Because wow. There's no word for time on that side.
Right. So people can have multiple spirit animal, okay.
Absolutely. Oh, you need them. You don't have to have just one. You need multi, because of different things that are happening in your world that you need to help heal and help guide. They're your guides too. If you don't have like tiger medicine, if you don't have tiger medicine, how can you fight like a tiger if you don't engulf and breathe that tiger medicine in?
Ooh, I like that. That's kind of cool. So, but you could help someone figure that out too if they don't know.
No. Right. They don't know. Sometimes I look in their eyes, because the eyes tell a lot. And that's what attracts me to people, is their eyes. It's not the color, it's not the shape. It's I see their light. Mm-hmm. I see their light, even if they come so hurt and so desperate of, we've all been there, right? Where I can't, one time I looked at my sister, I was crying, I went, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. She's like, no, she says, okay. I'm like, no, really? And she's like, okay, all right. You want some ice cream? Yes. But that it brings you down to points so you can feel that energy, so you can heal that energy.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not yours to carry. Not yours to carry. It's like, you can put your suitcase down, don't unpack it. It's, don't unpack that suitcase there, because there's so much more light. Like I said, once again, you're born into the light. You are the light. And even people that when I work with prisoners, and I work with people with all over I am so like, hey, unless I don't care why you're there. I'm here for today. I'm here for this moment, this breath. What do you need, son?
Wow.
What would you like, son, right now? What would you like? Tell me a story, whatever. That's what it's about. Let them start their own healing. I'm not there to tell them how to heal.
Right.
They want to heal already. Let them do it themselves. Let them learn and grow themselves on their own breath, but be their biggest cheerleader. And just give them that hope, because you believe in it. I believe in it, and the yin and yang of life. If there wasn't the hardness, we wouldn't know we're doing really good.
Right. That's true.
We'd always wonder, am I doing good enough?
Right.
Am I doing good enough?
Yeah.
But because of that opposite, so the, like even the Chinese, the yin and yang, in that opposite, and remember, the stronger the white light is, some of the darkness, the shadows will come. Doesn't mean it's going to overpower it. It just has strength.
Right.
And I always say, I see who you are. I honor who you are. And I thank you for showing me what not to be.
Ooh, that's nice. What not to be.
What not to be. Thank you for showing me what not to be. Because I would never know if you didn't come into my world and show me how hard, how strong you are compared to mine, like those forces. If you didn't show me that, I would keep fluffing it off and thinking, oh, it's going to get better,
Right.
and not heal it and grow.
So everything can be healed. Everything.
Everything.
But that's all part of the growth though, right? And when you're growing,
All part of the growth. Yep.
I love that. But then it all goes to choice. What about some people who just don't want to be healed? That's on them, right? Or
yeah. Oh yeah, because that's their lesson. That's their lesson this time. They maybe their other lifetime they were a fabulous healer, and they need to know that this lifetime what to be a horrible person or horrible negativity. Maybe they need to feel that negative, the opposite instead of the positive. Maybe they need to do that for their next path. Who knows? It is a domino effect. But then again, people, birds together, flock together. And there are always lessons in it, not for punishment, but for lessons for growth. And if you keep saying that, if you realize that, and it really is true, everything is for growth, even when you're darkest moment where you just can't take that breath. You don't want to take that breath.
right.
That's when you need to take that breath. You need to feel that love and that strength right then and there without fear or anger or no hope.
See, this all feels like the divine feminine to me. Like this all feels like the grandmother, the divine mother coming in. Because I remember talking with someone and he was saying, well, what about the people who hurt children? The child trafficking. What about, the human trafficking? What about all these people who are enslaved, for their selfish, pornography, child pornography, just all this horrific, ugly ick, right? That's just so heavy and dense. And he's like, how can you forgive them? How can they ever heal? How can you love them? And I thought about that because I'm very visual, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all this horrible stuff happen. But I think we all come from source, right? We're all part of God, whatever you call your God. How do you heal? Well, it doesn't begin by hating that, right? It's like, so when does it come about allowing yourself to feel for it without giving it? I mean, and it's so, anytime you mess with kids, you're dead in my book. I mean, dead. But then it's like, okay, what is the lesson here? What are we meant to learn here? How do we protect our children? How do we love our children? How do we make sure that we cherish them again? And we've lost so much of even just cherishing ourselves. We don't honor the planet. People hate themselves. I know so many people who don't even like themselves, and they place blame on everyone else. Well, because my mother did this and my father did that. I'm like, I think that's where it starts to heal there, right? And because of all this that has happened, how do we heal that? How do we start to heal the collective because of all this energy that just kind of like permeates throughout the air? And that same energy causes the rain that falls into the earth, that grows the trees and the food. It's like we're eating it. And how do we shift that and transmute it back into the purity? Is that possible?
I'm glad you brought that up because I am involved in the trafficking and children. And actually, I have 10.5 acres that was going to be a healing center, and I've actually had hidden children and mothers and even husbands or men up there from different things. And because I'm also close to Mexico and with Juarez and things, and my actions are to my seed in that whole thing, that whole horrific, that is the complete force of the opposite of what we are. There's your force, show me what not to be. That is out there. That's the force that makes us grow and be lighter and bigger, because that is what hits us the most. That's where we need. But with that said, we ask for more warriors out there that are stopping it, that are on the line, that are doing the job, that are cleaning up, that are doing it. And you know where most of it happens? In convention centers, when they have big things. This is where I was in California, where the, what do you call the Comic-Con? That's one of the biggest ones for trafficking.
Oh, wow.
Especially. Yeah, because you can't tell who they are, because they're all in character too. And it's all made underground before it even happens.
Yeah.
So what we do is we pull warriors out there. I don't carry it. And what I do is we try to heal it in our own seed way. And we make a team, just like a deer hide, like a deer herd. Like, can we become a herd? And we keep getting stronger and stronger with our light and our strength, and stopping the crime and stopping all this. And our children, once that's where the strength comes, because we still teach them their breath, and they can scream and do things. And the innocent kids that can't get out, they will somehow. And if they have it, they have in the Milky Way. So there's all different ways to look at it. And ours is to be a team. So if you look at it as a team, then you don't have to love or hate anybody. You don't have to forgive anybody. You have just your focus and your say would be to heal. To heal, because let God forgive. Let God, let the creator or whomever, Gaia, whoever you want. I forgive in a way so I can set aside that, so I can heal. But I don't say it's right. I don't believe in what they do. I just think it's the worst horrendous thing in the world you can do to a child or an animal. Oh my gosh, I turned to mama bear. I'm not smiling. I'm like crazy. But then I realized that's not going to help. I am feeding that. I'm feeding that with my energy. My energy is pretty darn strong. And I know that we can help. And if we just do one little thing, like now they do signs, if you see a kid doing this in the back of their hand or something, or 3 or something like that, I kept saying, I thought I was W because I do sign language, but it's just meaning that they need help, things like that. So they're smart. We've got to bring them up too. So it turns out to this plethora of white light versus the dark. They're going to get stomped down. They have to, in the cycles of this earth, it's been insane, as far as the wars, the yin and yang, but we still come out every day. That grandfather's son pops up and says, you have earned another day. Grandfather, and then Grandmother Moon pops up and says, I'll watch over you as you sleep. You've earned that night. And then tomorrow, your heartbeat and your breath. And then you take your seed and do what you can. And let others do theirs too, and become this huge group of white light.
And it all starts with your breath.
All starts with your breath. All starts with your breath. And, and the media will only tell you what they want to hear. And they hold, if you know that you're going in on fear, then expect it, but don't take it on.
Right.
That's not your fear. Just say, oh, they're going to show us fear today. I'm going to check this out. We do ceremonies. You got to keep ceremonies up. Any praying, anything, it's very highly important. If they're going to be cycling, we have to cycle. And that cycle is the white light of healing and healing and healing. And, and no one can get you down unless you let them.
Exactly. Unless you let them.
Unless you let them. I walk high. I walk high with my head high. And I walk humble. And when I walk home, my head's still high. And I'm like, hey, I'm over here. Totally humble on this whole situation.
That's awesome.
I own everything. I own everything. And like a child, I love it. I'm tired of being politically correct on things, and especially being Native. Oh my gosh, that's why everyone's segregated to be Native American. My daughter goes, Indian. She whispers it. And then at the end, I say, Indian. She goes, Native American. Because what are we? American Indian. And our tribes. Let's go there. One of my hardest hardships, and this is why I was crying, because one of my biggest forces is that our nations can't get together as a herd. They are the most discriminative. My nation's bigger, my nation's better, blah, 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 blah. I'm so, they hold a lot of hate. They hold a lot of, and I don't. And it's, they said that in order, because we were proud people, not egotistic, we were proud. We were proud people, helped each other. The only way to break up that medicine is to segregate us, separate and conquer. Right. And that's what they did. They segregated and conquered us. And it's working to this day. And like I go to Lakota, my husband had Irish in him, right? They would say, okay, Windwalker, what do you want? And I said, I'm not getting an ice cream. Why not? He's my husband. I don't care. I said, don't do that. Shame on you. You're still teaching that. Yeah. So things happen where even when I'm trying to do what I do every single day, and Richard knows this too, that I get shot down. Okay. I have a ghost shirt on. A ghost shirt is you can put arrows through me, but I know die. Wow. I'm not going to. I've made a promise. I'm going to journey when the time is right.
Right. Yeah.
And you can hate me. You can think I'm not hurting anyone. If anything, I've been healing everyone. Mm-hmm. And I know it's okay. And I want to share it. And I'm destined to share it. And I do it through every part of me. Every part. And the thing is, every morning, I am so grateful.
Yes, that's everything. That is everything. Okay, you mentioned Richard. Richard, do you want to say anything? Do you want to ask any questions? Since you're part of this and your name's come up, I'm going to give you an opportunity if you'd like to take it.
Yeah, I got on because I was, like I said, I was just real quick going on Facebook. I saw Windwalker said, join me. I wrote down the numbers real quick. I saw I wasn't on yet. I was like, okay, I could read a little bit more, right? Because I was reading. But just hearing Windwalker talk, I'm so grateful that I took that break from its homework. It's great homework, but I needed that break, and this was such a perfect grade and a break. And everything Windwalker has said, it's been perfect for the time I'm in now, because I'm just always in gratitude. Some of the teachings that Windwalker has talked about, I'm new to them. I have a lot of native blood in me, but my great grandfather, a lot of the teachings passed with my great grandfather, and when he would try to teach me, I was very, very young, and just didn't have the ear. But he made sure. I thought about this too this past week, that just that little bit of time with him, those seeds that he planted were so powerful. Because later on down my life, my late 30s, I'm about to be 40 this year. I told my great grandfather, I prayed to him. I said, hey, great grandfather, I could have listened back then, but I'm listening now. And that next, within a couple of days, I met Windwalker. I met other elders from here in San Antonio, Virgie Ravenhawk, Irene, and so many other elders, and it's bringing all that what I wasn't ready to hear back then, and I'm learning that, and I'm healing, and not only am I healing myself, I've carry a lot of the medicine that Windwalkers talked about. You know, I not only carry it, I cherish it, and you know, almost daily I try to sage now. You know, everything takes me so long because everything turns into a ceremony. no matter no matter if it's taking out the trash or making a ceremony or taking a bath, sometimes the water bill goes up because I'm just so grateful that I have all these luxuries, even just so much luxury to take out the trash yet again, you know, because we have so much abundance and stuff like that. So um, definitely the first time I've met Windwalker, I could say that my life has completely changed, you know, and that was the time too that I received the medicine from the seashells, and it was just great to be here, and great that, you know, it wasn't an accident that I got on Facebook for probably less than a minute and saw that real quick, wrote it down, it got right back off, you know. So yeah, I'm just grateful to be here, grateful to be for the space. Thank you for holding the space, and thank you again, Windwalker, for all the teachings and all the love and joy you bring to not only my life but everybody's life. You know.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, it's so wonderful that you're owning that and you're living it, and that's beautiful to see.
Oh yes, yes, I love it. Like I said, I
Fun to
cherish it.
inspire other people too. So yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
I, I actually I'm studying right now to be uh on my journey to be a social worker. I'm in my senior year of being a social worker, and in my social work books they talk about Native American that 100% of Native Americans suffer directly or indirectly from alcoholism. And it also says that once we are retaught our ways, you know, our old ways, we are the quickest healing group uh, of individuals, you know, when it comes to that. And those healings are so powerful. And I'm grateful that I'm now passing it down to my nieces and nephews tonight for the full moon. I'll be picking up one of my nieces at least and attending a drum circle with some of the other elders from that I met when I met the day I met Windwalker. So it's just I love it.
So
That full circle,
it's time. It is time.
never ending circle, never ending cycle. Yeah, I love it.
That's a song.
Yes, it does sound like it. Thanks so
I'm
much.
glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought up about the alcoholism. There's a blood system, there's an enzyme in our blood system that's actually missing, that we cannot digest alcohol correctly. Our bodies were not designed for alcohol. That's why we call it spirits. And when my tribe, when the French brought over a barrel of wine, and he said, "This is our medicine. This is what gets us. This is what we use." And so the medicine man took a sip and spit it out and said, "It's poison." Well, the young warrior came and he sipped it and he sipped it and he sipped it some more. Then he got a little dizzy and he's giggly, and the whole tribe thought the medicine man was wrong. And they all started drinking, and all the warriors came and started drinking, and they all got giddy. And then all of a sudden, one looked at another one like this. And next thing you know, it triggered something, and they started killing off each other. They started the whole village started fighting. And there were so many deaths that night. So this is why. And what happens, the alcoholism, the government actually gave free alcohol to the natives, knowing that was going to assimilate them and make them less powerful. And it worked. And we work a lot with that. And I never work with, I would say, I was worried about, I was, like he said, it's about the natives and the ancients. Let's get their teachings back. So I don't care what you drink, what you smoke, what you put up your arm. I want to heal the shadows. I want to get rid of those shadows so you can have hope again.
Right.
If you don't have hope, you have nothing. You take that away from a person, so you have nothing. You're nothing. Don't even bother. Just go through life. Just survive. Don't live. Just survive. After a while, you hear that generational.
Right.
It starts wearing on you, and it's very abusive, just like the alcohol. Right. So that's another way how they conquered the natives was through alcoholism. So I work a lot of alcohol. I don't drink personally at all. I'm so allergic to it. If I have a sip of wine, my tongue goes numb. I'm like,
Your body
So-
don't do this.
you know, yeah.
Wow.
But and I don't want to drink spirits. I don't know about anybody else, but that just kind of no, that's not up my alley.
There are enough of them around, you know. Don't need to ingest them. You know?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's so wonderful. I'm so glad that you are teaching, that you are putting yourself out there to share who you are, you know, to draw to those, you know, draw those to you who want to learn. You know, I mean, we all learn when we're ready, you know, and Richard, you're right. I mean, as a child, you know, if you weren't ready then, just so you are ready now. And I think grandfather spirit, I mean, our ancestors want to teach us. I think they want to say, okay, this is the information I want to give to you. You know, be open to receive. And so it's so nice that, you know, one, you are being open, you know, to give and to receive. So you are creating that cycle, you know, which is so beautiful. And again, I have to say, it's so needed. It's now is the time, you know, and I'm just so happy that I had a chance to meet with you. And it's so funny. We both had such a crazy time in Vegas, but we met at that party. And that was like the one highlight of the whole trip. I hate this, you know, but that was like the best part. So I'm so grateful. So thank you.
Oh, I am so grateful too. And Richard, tell her what you're doing to change the world. What is your dance?
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my goodness, there's so many things. So one of the things that I do is I dance with a spirit bear.
Ooh.
And yes, and it's that day that I met Windwalker, the next day after, I was told that I was going to be the next dancer, and we had our first dance together. I believe it was in June or July.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
it was just so,
Somewhere.
I'm so grateful that, yes, that's just one of the things that I'm doing now. It's amazing, this journey.
I have to say, the other day I texted Windwalker and I told her I had this vision of bear dancing with the eagle. So I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. It's like you dance with bear and Windwalker's eagle. It's like, I love it. It's like so cool. It's like, okay. Okay, this is nice. I like this. And here we are.
Oh, I would like to gift you something. Oh, go ahead, Richard.
I just said a ho.
Oh,
Oh.
I know. I have a funny story about that too. That means we agree, or you know, and that's like a ho. It means our word and our truth, right? Depends on who you say it to. One time I was on a telephone with a woman, and we were talking about similarities, and she was from the South, and I said, yeah, well, also women are the pipe carriers, you know, for the prayer pipe. And then I went, oh, and she stopped. She said, what'd you call me? I said, I didn't call you anything. And she said, you called me a hoe. And I said, no. I said, a hoe. She said, yes, that's what you said. I said, no, it means I agree. So you agree that I'm a hoe? I said, no. It means like, and it got further. It was so funny about languages and miscommunication. You know, they thought we didn't believe in God. You know, I've been asked, hey, Windwalker, how many gods do you believe in? And my answer to that was, I better get off the mountain more often. I thought there was one, but hey, who knows? Creator, you know. So you just keep teaching them and educating them and stop the segregation. And, you know, and everyone bleeds red. Everyone bleeds red. Heal them and seal them and heal their inner waters. When you get your water, this is one of my teachings is when you fill your glass up, think of a beautiful, happy thought and sing into your water. Okay. Then drink it.
How do you sing into your water?
Yeah, sing into your water like, and then drink it.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Oh, it's a big, cool difference. And you know what? Do an experiment prior. Take a sip before you sing in it. Then sing in it. And then sip it again.
Okay. That sounds very cool. I like that.
Right? So I would love to gift you a beautiful song
Yes.
For my drone flute.
Oh, beautiful.
And what I would love to ask from both of you is your happy thoughts. And I have Olivia in my thoughts right now. She came to me, by the way, and dreaming of dancing. And we were in this field and there were like wild lazy Susans. No, black-eyed Susans, not lazy Susans. That's the thing. Black-eyed Susans here and there in like wheat or something. I don't know, but it was really, really cool. So I'm going to use that thought for Olivia. And then I would love for you two to think of a happy thought for the day.
I love the thought of dancing. I love that. Dancing under the full moon. Yes, under the full moon.
Absolutely.
And my thought just filled my eyes with tears of joy was the thought of guiding my family.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Oh.
Oh.
Oh.